video in. This is from Josh Daniels. And Jesus, where's this from? This is from Bullard a little bit earlier, closer to 5:30 today. Lots of stormy clouds out there. It's hard to tell, but that may even be a shelf cloud. Brett, do you think that's a wall cloud hovering right on the bottom of the screen there? We have to wait for it to zoom back out, but it looks like something.
Yeah, it looks like. I can't tell from right there if it's, that was at 5:30.
5:30 in Bullard. I suspect it was probably a shelf cloud, given what we were seeing on radar at that time.
Yeah, you can see a lot of those scary-looking SLCs hanging off the bottom, a little rising scud into it. Those little appendages, that darker area on the bottom of that, those are not little tornadoes. Those are just, remember, there's a ton of, I don't know if you can, oh, here, I guess we're up here. See these little things? Those aren't tornadoes. So remember how low the base of the clouds they were today? They were like a couple thousand feet, maybe a couple hundred feet. So all that moisture rises, it cools, it condenses. And as it condenses, it turns into these little rising scud clouds. So yeah, overall, yeah, that could be, I'd need a wider perspective to know if it was a shelf cloud. It could have been based on the radar image that went through Smith County. But I'd need a wider view to really totally confirm that for sure. But yeah, scary looking clouds for sure out there, and still that little tornado warning going into Cass County. That is technically going to be outside of our coverage area, but we're going to stay on the air till 6:30. And then at 6:30, we'll pick up with CBS 19 News at 6:30. We'd be on the air right now with CBS 19 News at 6. So all we're going to do is just essentially bring you a half hour of weather coverage as we get rid of this final tornado warning in Bowie, Cass, and Morris County. Morris County, we have folks who watch up there in the Dangerfield area, so we want to make sure that they are protected. Also have some folks who watch up around the Linden area over toward Douglasville. We'll hear from them every once in a while, so we'll keep you protected. Again, you can always listen to us with our radio partners. We've got 106.5 Jack FM, our Kicks 105.7, 103.7, The Ranch, La Invasora 96.7. We are tracking these tornado warnings in East Texas and have been doing so all afternoon on our streaming channel, CBS 19 Plus. Of course, here over the air, when there are tornado warnings, if there's not tornado warnings, what we'll technically or typically do is go to our streaming channel, CBS 19 Plus, our Facebook page, and then our YouTube channel also, so you can follow along there. The YouTube page will take all kinds of questions and comments, even on the YouTube channel. If you can comment, I'd say go ahead. We'll answer questions there. On the stream, it's just real easy. You have the app. You pop on the stream. You're watching us. If you've got a Roku TV, put it on the stream and you're watching us. So, you know, if you have one of those other type of services where it rains really hard, you get what's called rain fade and you can't see your signal. If you've got an internet connection still and you've got a Roku TV and you've got the CBS 19 app, we got you covered. There's still some rain down in parts of outside of the tornado warning, but right now, that a couple times we've seen this pop up, and that is an indication of what we call a TVS, or a tornadic vortex signature. We haven't seen a lot of those today. This is a medium strength one. So maybe, I think a lot of this has been because we've been rain wrapped. This purple area here is a flash flood warning. So Camp County, city of Pittsburgh, is in a flash flood warning. By the way, that flash flood warning goes all the way back into Wood and parts of Smith County, where if you were watching Sarah just a little bit ago, there were some reports of 4-inch-an-hour rainfall rates coming out of some of these cells. So tremendous amounts of rainfall just dumped in a short period of time. I was looking at 2-inch-an-hour rainfall in an hour. Think of it, if it rains for the whole hour, you'd get 2 inches of rainfall. But we're seeing 2 inches or 4 inches of rain in like a half hour's time because these storms are moving so fast. So Linden right now, you're going to want to, you're okay, you're outside of the polygon, but Douglasville, you want to be in your safe place currently. These winds here are likely blowing up at about 60, 70 miles an hour, and they are winds that are blowing into the whole thunderstorm. And now it's just dropped below that tornadic vortex signature and has now just strengthened. We got a little strong updraft. There's probably some hail in there. We've seen bouts of hail all afternoon in the order of golf ball size. I think the biggest hailstones we've seen are about golf ball size. We haven't really gotten any kind of hen egg size or tennis ball or anything larger than that. And that was one of the threats today, was extremely large hail, but the tornado threat and the long track strong tornado threat was certainly higher than anything else. And so we've seen that. We've seen some stronger tornadoes. We've heard reports of the Ozarko bottling plants up near Hawkins getting hit again, second time in a decade. So they've been hit with tornado damage. There was that very strong signature around the Betty area. We're waiting to see confirmation if there is some damage there. We've heard reports of damage, Grand Saline area, 4 miles northeast of Canton, so in Van Zant County. So there's damage out there from these storms, and they continue to move their way, at least moving out of the area. Still some energy left over, still some thunderstorms down here to the southeast, but the winds right now around Gilmer look benign, and the energy at Gilmer is also kind of coming down a little bit. We're waiting to kind of suck some of the energy out of the air around Tyler and Jacksonville and Henderson and sort of peel back that tornado watch that's in effect until 9 o'clock. If you think about it, we only have about 3 more hours to go with the tornado watch, and then we're done for tonight. But I got to tell you, we'll talk probably more about this at 6:30. Tomorrow morning, 4:30 to about 5 a.m. until about 9 a.m., there's going to be a line of thunderstorms from Greenville down to Canton to Athens that it's going to move to the east. It'll race through Tyler probably 6:30 or 7 o'clock through Longview at about 8 o'clock, and it's going to be over in Louisiana by 9 o'clock. The leading edge of that could have wind speeds in excess of 60 miles an hour, and maybe some sporadic pockets of hail, possibly a spin up. And then tomorrow afternoon in Deep East Texas, we'll probably have one more chance to see a couple of spin ups. So we'll try to keep on top of this as much as we can tomorrow. Flash flood warning till 7:15. That's going to be southern Wood County, northwest half of Smith County, western half of Upshur County. Then that flash flood warning goes on up into Camp County and up into Morris, Titus, and I believe a piece of Franklin County, and that'll go until later on tonight. That's where we saw the heavy rainfall. This is where we've seen the pictures of flooding in Lindale. If we have that video again or those pictures, we can pop those back up just to give you an idea of why Lindale and parts of northwest Smith County are in a flash flood warning. When you see these photos, you'll know why. The rain came down too fast, too furious, and just flooded a lot of the streets up there. When you get something like that, you got to wait for the water to come on down. And then there's this photo from Kylie Hamsley. This is video. Wow, this is impressive. Okay, look right there. That looks like there's something trying to rotate around the wall cloud. Look at the rotation. It looks like we're spiraling inward. This is a fantastic shot here with this little kind of satellite cloud here, maybe trying to be pulled into it. Look at all the lightning. So there's great structure on this storm. Great structure. So it looks like, and we're only seeing a small snippet of it if we played this out longer, but it's hard to tell on the other side of that if it's actually in contact with the ground, but it could be very close to it. But just see how it keeps running back and forth, that little satellite out there, the wind wrapping in the updraft. Oh, man, fantastic. Inflow probably coming in here. All right, we're going to get a shot here from Bullard. This is a better shot from Bullard. Apparently, this is the shot of the lowering that was in southern Smith County, and that was a little while ago. This was probably part of the cell that the National Weather Service was watching carefully, but did not warn that for Smith County, and then that lifted. Here's another great shot from Josh Daniel. This is a nice lowering on that, nice edge. Probably, maybe, that might be more shelf cloud. Well, not exactly. I need a wider perspective to know. It looks like almost like we have in that other photo there, more of a roll cloud. So you have cold air at the top of a thunderstorm, right? And you have warm air toward the surface. So the cold air falls, and as it falls, it cools and condenses, and then you get that cloud formation. All right, Sarah Blue has more information over in the Weather Center. Sarah?
Hey, Brett. Well, we're getting word in from Lindale ISD. That's where we're seeing buses 14, 26, and 28 have been redirected to E.J. Moss East due to impassable roadways. And they're saying that all students who ride these buses will need to be picked up from E.J. Moss East Auditorium. So once again, those buses are number 14, 26, and 28. If your student is on those buses, you can pick them up from E.J. Moss East Auditorium. All right, let's switch back over to radar to see what we're seeing. We're really still tracking that tornado warning that we have just been seeing. This will likely be a long track tornado, which is way longer than what a normal tornado is. That's how it gets its name. I'm very much, the name is the definition. Now out toward Marietta, out toward Douglasville, we're still seeing that tornado warning. It's active all the way through 6:30. We're going to stay on with you through then out for Bowie and Cass counties. I'm not seeing quite as organized rotation as before, but we are seeing some ham radio operators saying that this may be tightening up. They're out there again. So we're going to continue to watch this and bring you the latest. I'm getting information from Brett. Brett, what's happening?
All right, 6:12 here on this Friday night. We've been under constant tornado warnings across the area. Smith County has even had a few tornado warnings. We have Brandon Moore with Smith County Emergency Management on the phone with us. Brandon, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hey, we've had quite a bit of water up in the Lindale area. Any water rescues up there?
Yes, sir. ESD 1 has conducted 2 water rescues as of now.
And where were those?
County Road 411.
And was that because somebody drove into that, or was it the water came up to homes, or what happened?
Someone drove into it.
They drove into it, yeah. And so let's talk then about the safety precautions so that we can avoid things like that. What do you recommend for folks when they're out there driving and they come across some high water like this?
Well, the catchphrase commonly used is turn around, don't drown. So you never know how deep the water is going to be. The road could have washed out. I mean, there's a number of scenarios that could have happened. So if you do come across a flooded road, turn around, back up, and go find an alternate route.
You bring up a good point. We don't know if the water has washed out the road underneath it, even though you're pretty confident that road is in pretty good shape, but then you just don't know what happened. Have we seen any damage in Smith County?
There's been a few homes that have been damaged just from trees falling down. No real injuries yet, but yeah, just minor stuff like that.
And what areas did that occur in?
Still in Lindale. Most all of our stuff right now is in the northwest.
Okay. We saw some rather large hailstones, at least according to our radar. Have you heard any reports of any hail damage in the Lindale area up toward Hideaway?
I have not, no.
Okay. That's, again, radar sometimes estimates or overestimates the size of those hailstones. So we're looking at some photos. So do you know, in the northwestern part of Smith County, was there any visual confirmation of a lowering or rotating wall cloud or anything like that?
There were some reports, but nothing actually touched down.
Okay. So we didn't have a tornado then, as far as you know, in Smith County here tonight?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Brandon Moore with Smith County Emergency Management. He's the Smith County Emergency Management Coordinator. Brandon, be safe tonight. Let us know if we can help out in any way.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your help. Thank you for what you do, Brandon. Helps everyone stay safe across Smith County. We're looking at CBS 19 live radar. Lots of thunderstorms continuing, and the thunderstorms indicating a lot of heavy rainfall. Thus, we continue to get these flash flood warnings in parts of Smith County, as Brandon alluded to, talking about folks driving into what appeared to be a roadway they thought they could handle, and the water was just too deep. Look at the lightning strikes right now at Gilmer, back here into southeastern parts of Wood County, western Upshur County, and then we go all the way up into western Cass County. This is going to be Morris, Titus, and Franklin County. There's Titus, there's Morris County. This is now going over into Cass County, where the tornado warning continues for about the next 15 minutes.